Welcome to Norwich, East Anglia's hidden gem, located in the arse end of nowhere. Although it's off the beaten track, its weakness is also its strength. This allows the city to be alive with authenticity, favouring an abundance of independent stalls, restaurants and entertainment venues over the more common mass of chains and franchise that you find in most UK cities. This small city of some 200,000 people packs a big punch, and here we have our hand-picked selection of things to do when visiting Norwich, with a place to avoid right at the end of the video. Kicking off with green spaces. We begin with Eaton Park, located in the west of the city, with a stunning bandstand in the centre. If you're searching for a parkrun PB, then Eaton Park is home to one of the UK's flattest. Towards the north of the city, we have Catton Park, a 70-acre expanse of open grassland and woodland. This park boasts Grade 2 listed status and incredible sunsets. Going south, we move on to Mousehold Heath, Norwich's largest nature reserve. This area of woodland and heathland is just a 20-minute walk from the city centre. As well as common woodland birds, if you're lucky, you might find greater spotted woodpeckers, sparrowhawks and kestrels. Our personal favourite, winding through the heart of Norwich, is the Riverside Walk, which runs along the River Wensum. Starting at the railway station, this path takes you on a journey of stunning views of the natural and man-made world. The standout feature, Cow Tower, constructed around 1389, is one of the earliest purpose-built artillery blockhouses in England. Our final green space is located in the city's highly sought-after Golden Triangle. The stunning century-old plantation garden is a true hidden treasure of Norwich. Tucked away behind the Roman Catholic Cathedral, find peace and tranquility in this secret garden, the perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of the nearby city centre. Our journey through Norwich takes us to one of its unmissable scenes. The pubs of Norwich date back as far as 1249 with the Adam and Eve. Perhaps more surprising, King Street once boasted almost 60 pubs. However now, just one is left standing. Look, to be honest, the pubs of Norwich could have been a video in itself, but here we've created the perfect Norwich pub crawl. Beginning in NR3, or the Silver Triangle, located to the north of the city, we start with lunch to line the stomach at the Rosebery. Then, onto the Whalebone, a great venue for sports fans. Next we have the Brewery Tap, home to authentic Norwich ales. Heading towards the city centre, we stumble upon the Artichoke, an iconic listed building with a selection of fine IPAs and serving French-inspired cuisine. Just around the corner is the microbrewery Malt and Mardle. Just be sure to arrive early, as it's just 30 square metres in size. Nestled by the River Wensum, the Ribs of Beef is home to a beautiful riverside jetty, where you can sit and watch the world go by while sipping on one of their many choices of real ales. If you're still on your feet by this point, then you'll feel right at home at the last pub standing, where you can soak up events ranging from spoken word to dancing the night away with local DJs and bands. No pub crawl in Norwich would be complete without a visit to the Garnet. Tucked away beside the market, this pub goes unnoticed by most tourists. With our favourite drinking spots explored, our journey through Norwich takes a more wholesome turn. With rich history, the city displays stunning architecture and is home to no more than 2 cathedrals, the oldest of which built some 900 years ago. Featured in none other than Harry Potter. Be sure to go inside and check out the detail in Norwich's iconic landmark. You can also find the resting place of World War I heroine Edith Cavell, who covertly helped some 200 Allied soldiers escape from German-occupied Belgium. Conveniently on the cathedral's doorstep, we have Tombland, which has nothing to do with actual tombs. Rather, it's a Norse word for open space. But don't let this seemingly boring description deter you. For those of you brave enough, check out the Crooked House, said to be haunted by a young girl once trapped inside this interesting slab of architecture. Next door, containing more Tudor houses than the entire city of London, Elm Hill is like taking a journey back in time. Arguably one of the most famous streets in Norwich, it has attracted the likes of Hollywood to its cobbled streets for films such as Stardust and Jingle Jangle. Over to Norwich Castle. Built in 1067, this castle, besieged in 1075, also went on to feature as a prison, hosting brutal executions. But the castle's dark side is all ancient history now, as it currently exists as a fascinating museum and art gallery, where you can meet the 3,000-year-old Egyptian mummy of Angkor. The pride and joy of this fine city plays at their home of Carrow Road. With a capacity of 27,000, if you're into mediocre football, then there's sure to be a seat available for you. If this journey is leaving you with an appetite, then this part's for you. Norwich takes its food scene very seriously, offering an eclectic range of independent restaurants of almost every cuisine. The famous market alone, located outside City Hall, houses a vibrant selection of over 28 different street food options. Within an incredibly tight vicinity, you can find the best food that Norwich has to offer. Our top 5 picks include breakfast at Olives, lunch at Moorish Falafel Bar, inventive Mexican at Jive, modestly priced authentic pasta at Yard, and the Michelin star Italian restaurant Bonoli, all within around a 5-minute walk from each other. In this area we also have the Lanes of Norwich. Aptly named, these medieval streets house no less than 300 of the finest independent shops, cafes, restaurants and bars. Opened in 1899, with Art Nouveau inspired architecture, the Royal Arcade still boasts its Victorian aesthetic to this day, with a number of more, you guessed it, independent retailers, ranging from a gin academy to interior design and model aircraft. When the sun goes down, a different side to Norwich comes to life, with no shortage of entertainment venues, including Cinema City, an actual picture house that isn't View, Odeon or Cineworld. But if you prefer to see the acting in real life, then the city's Playhouse and Theatre host an array of performing arts events throughout the entire year. For those of you who feel a bit more at home on the trodden path, then the Riverside Complex contains the familiar venues found at every other UK entertainment centre. Personally, you'd never find me here. To cap the night off and seal the deal on our Norwich journey, Gonzo's, open till 3 AM every night of the week, contains 3 stories of incredible nightlife. Now we made a promise at the start of this video, so here we have the place to avoid. Unfortunately, upon entering Norwich through its spectacular railway station, you are left with an obvious route into the city centre, through the infamous Prince of Wales Road, a place that gives off a first impression undeserved of a city such as Norwich. Enter at your peril. We would recommend taking the scenic route via the Riverside Path mentioned earlier in our journey. The great thing about Norwich is that everything we've spoken about throughout this video so far is within walking distance, which means that you don't require a car or use of public transport within the city. The train from London takes under 2 hours, and once you've arrived, the city is your oyster. So there we have it. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Norwich and whether you'll be visiting in the future. So drop us a comment below, and if you've enjoyed the video, then hey, why not subscribe?